Son of light, burn!
Should I show you my secret weapon? It's not my fault if you get hurt.
Vanish into darkness. On my honor as a dragon, I will punish you.
I hope you're ready.
I'm on my way.
Will you help?
Here I go.
Step back. If you value your life, don't say I didn't warn you.
This is your end.
Purifying flame. Burn away the evil.
I gave you a chance. It's too late to say sorry now.
Obey. Burning hatred. A desire for revenge.
This won't be an easy fight.
Don't worry.
Step back. If you value your life, don't say I didn't warn you.
Please disappear.
No destiny can stop me!
Should I show you my secret weapon? It's not my fault if you get hurt.
Remove all obstacles.
Spear of Ragnar!
Bleed. I will shatter you.
Take this!
I'm on my way. Let us deal with them. Don't worry. On my honor as a dragon, I will punish you.
Son of light, burn!
Please disappear.
Son of light. Burn!
Should I show you my secret weapon? It's not my fault if you get hurt.
Obey. On my honor as a dragon, I will punish you.
This won't be an easy fight.
I'm on my way. This is your end.
No destiny can stop me!
I gave you a chance. It's too late to say sorry now.
Remove all obstacles. Burning hatred. A desire for revenge.
Take this!
Don't worry. For his lofty goal.
Son of light. Burn!
Step back. If you value your life, don't say I didn't warn you.
Vanish. Into darkness.
Spear of Ragnar!
Bleed.
This won't be an easy fight.
Don't worry. Please disappear.
Purifying flame. Burn away the evil.
Should I show you my secret weapon? It's not my fault if you get hurt.
Obey. On my honor as a dragon, I will punish you.
I hope you're ready.
I'm on my way.
You know what to do.
Don't worry. This is your end. Dragon Twilight.
No destiny can stop me!
I gave you a chance. It's too late to say sorry now.
Remove all obstacles. Burning hatred. A desire for revenge.
Take this!
I'm on my way. For his lofty goal.
Son of light, burn!
Step back if you value your life. Don't say I didn't warn you.
Vanish into darkness.
Spear of Ragnar.
Bleed.
This won't be an easy fight.
I'm on my way. Please disappear.
Purifying flame, burn away the evil.
Should I show you my secret weapon? It's not my fault if you get hurt.
Remove all obstacles. On my honor as a dragon, I will punish you.
Take this!
Don't worry.
Here.
Understood. This is your end. Look at me.
No destiny can stop me!
I gave you a chance. It's too late to say sorry now.
Son of light, burn!
Should I show you my secret weapon? It's not my fault if you get hurt.
Obey.
Spear of Ragnar.
Bleed.
I hope you're ready.
I'm on my way.
Step back if you value your life. Don't say I didn't warn you.
Vanish into darkness.
Purifying flame, burn away the evil.
Should I show you my secret weapon? It's not my fault if you get hurt.
Remove all obstacles. Burning hatred. A desire for revenge.
This won't be an easy fight.
Don't worry.
No destiny can stop me!
I gave you a chance. It's too late to say sorry now.
Obey.
Take this!
I'm on my way.
Son of light! Burn!
Step back if you value your life. Don't say I didn't warn you.
Vanish. Into darkness. On my honor as a dragon, I will punish you.
I hope you're ready.
Don't worry. For his lofty goal.
No destiny can stop me!
Should I show you my secret weapon? It's not my fault if you get hurt.
Obey.
Spear of Ragnar.
Bleed! This won't be an easy fight.
Don't worry.
Purifying flame. Burn away the evil.
Step back if you value your life. Don't say I didn't warn you.
Remove all obstacles.
I hope you're ready.
I'm on my way.
Let me also do this. Yes, I was late. My fault. It was laundry day. Oh crap. Hold on. I think I screwed up something. Yes, I did. I did screw up. Oh, is it around this? Okay, yeah. That's screwed. Okay. Okay. There. Oops. There we go. All right. All right. All right. Cool. Cool. Yes. Now we're ready to go. It's been a minute since I've done this. I'm a little rusty. Been away for a minute. Well, not. I mean, I technically have been away for a minute. I don't know if you can hear me well. I'm not at my mic yet. All right. Let me see. All right. So, let me see if I can. All right. Okay. There we go. All right. Now can you hear me? Am I coming in good and nice? And crystal clear? I think I am. Ah, shoot. No. My leg game. All right. There we go. Whew. All right. Okay. Yep. That's better. That is a lot better. Although I do feel like I'm a little low. But I should be okay. That works out a lot better. To the point to myself a little bit better, so y'all can hear me. But anyways, as you see, y'all voted, and it's been about 2 months since I've done this. But since y'all voted, y'all won, and today we are building the Gundam Heavyarms Custom. So, not the Heavyarms EW version, which I hope to get that at a later date. But anyways, welcome to another live stream. Welcome to the Unknown Game channel, which is my gaming and hobby channel if you never know. My bad for being late today. Today's my laundry day, and I forgot. So, had to finish all that up. But anyways, let's go ahead and show you what we're building today. So you can see each side. Y'all already know how we do this. Man, I really need to change the color. The color's kind of off, I ain't gonna lie. But this is what you voted for. And this one shouldn't be a long build, hopefully. A high grade. But it is nice to get back to Gundam building, so. Alright, it's been a minute. So, as you know, as usual, I'm gonna go ahead and start to build first. Then once I start building, then I'm going to go ahead and start turning things on that we could check out and react to. I just got to make sure I'm logged into the right one. But if you're watching this, I hope y'all have been well. Like I said, sorry for the late. Sorry, I'm having an issue with this. Sorry for the late pop-in, but I am here, and as you know, I keep building till we're done. Hopefully, I don't lose any pieces. I'm also using a different mic that I normally do, so hopefully it's not that bad to y'all. So, and the great part about this mic is I can move it wherever I need it. So, come on, you. And once again, if you want to bring these back to monthly and not like bi-monthly, or I could do them, make sure to hit that subscribe, follow, depending on your platform. Come on. Oh, and the good news is that part should be coming in today. So, and in the future of this, I should be bringing in. There should be somebody else coming on a little later. Don't know. Haven't heard back yet, but they said they're gonna be coming on today. So, probably the same. I'll see if I can get somebody new on, but we'll see what happens. There we go. Didn't even get to finish my trailer. Yes, I stream every Wednesday if you don't know. Let's go ahead and open it up. Come on. Come on. There we go. Open sesame. There we go. So just to help you out, see how many backs. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Boom. And just so you know, this kit was a P-Bond die, but then they re-released as a limited kit. Alright, so let's look at it. No, yeah, you see the build shouldn't be that hard, so this should be a pretty quick one. Let's show you the manual just in case. There you go. I think right there should be fine. All right, the other side. And there you go. Now let's go ahead and get started building. Oh yeah, before that. Uh-oh, where did already dropping stuff. I ain't even started. Alright, that should boom. Alright. I'll set you up right here. I'll put you right there. Move this up. Number 2. Let's do number 2. Yeah, it's definitely going to be a short build. You see, this is why I chose not to do any more real grades. Y'all keep on for real grades and drive me nuts. I needed a break. You know, I had probably a lot more of a break than what I should have, but yeah, probably this build and next build I want to make sure it's high grades, at least if I can. I don't want y'all voting for any real grades until I want to take on that undertaking. So I like nice, easy builds once in a while. All right. All right. Let's put this right down here. Oh, yeah. Let me see. All right. And oh, wait a minute. No, I think I can. I think I do have the ability to do it right now. Let me check. There's this one, and there's this one. And one more. I gotta figure out where they. Oh, there. I don't know. I don't know why I just put them away, but oh well. And that's it. That's all the parts. I mean, all the runners I had to work with. So let's go ahead and see the process should be that one. So let's go ahead and take out the tools because it's time for the tools to come out. All right. Right there. And this one. I think it's this one. All right. Cool. All right. Let's go ahead and get started. Hold on. Let me hit one more person out. I'll hit him. I'll hit him up later. Take some time and do this. So I need a. Great. That was suck. A11. A11. A10. Whew. D2. 25. D2. 24. A13. E1, nope. E1, everything else is A, right? Okay, so D2. Oh, my bad. Oh, they still haven't fixed the freaking stickers on this thing. Oops, that was supposed to happen. It's fine. A15. There's 7. A15. Oh, man. 6, 8. Oh, it's 5. Dang it. All right. Yeah, that's all I need. That's all I would. Okay. All right. Let's see if it works. All right. Let's go small. Okay, there we go. All right. All right. This one's over here. All right. All right, there we go. I think I watched this one last time. Oh, I wish we could. I wish we could. I would totally put this on right now. I like to say.
You don't have to do this anymore. You do not have to go down this path in life. I understand the anger and the hatred you feel because I was just like you.
All right, yo.
I was alone. I was a loser, but I found a way out. When I kicked you through that mountain,
All right, yo.
I saw a tear in your eye. I can tell you don't want to be evil anymore. And I'm here to tell you that I know the way. Because the path that I took, through hard work and dedication.
Nigga, you got the power of a demon fox inside you. Like, don't do that, bro. Don't do that. Don't stand over me and try to give me this speech like you big bro. Like, I've been whooping your ass for 2 episodes straight, and then you gonna pull that out your ass. Like, don't stand over me and talk like you got it out the mud.
Did you see my shadow clones?
Bro, you stole a scroll to learn how to do a jutsu that we all knew in kindergarten. Like, stop. And the only reason you can do that much is because of your clan. Me and you are not alike, bro. You ain't have to go through the things I went through.
Yeah, I grew up alone.
You made friends at the age of 12. Whoa, so alone. So alone. Woo. What the fuck?
I struggled too.
Bro, you lived in an apartment paid for by the Hokage. He never missed a bill. Lights were always on. Food was always in the fridge. Talking about struggle, bro. I watched my whole clan get slaughtered at the age of 8. And I had to survive by eating their bodies for months. Like, don't talk to me about struggle.
But the swing.
Nigga, bring up that swing again. Ooh, shit. You just made my chakra come back. Bring up that swing again. Bro. Talking about the damn swing. Nigga, we ain't even have swings in my hood. Like, no, cause don't try to do that. You ain't come from the trenches like me.
Okay,
you ain't do none of that.
What you're saying,
you ain't do none of that. You ain't go through my struggles. You ain't go through the things I've been through.
I have a speech,
so don't talk like you could have been a villain.
I have a speech, though.
I'm a villain for a reason.
I'm trying to say my... Yo, let me talk, nigga.
Like,
dang, like, you people like never let me speak. Like, I'm just trying.
No,
I can say I got a black friend. My thing is, though, is that I got a speech, and niggas never let me finish.
What you a part of,
Niggas never let me.
Yeah, I like that, dude. Oh man, that is great.
In the original Mobile Suit Gundam, the iconic giant robot piloted by a young man.
That was great. That was great. All right, that was worth it. That was worth it. That was worth it. I'm glad I got to watch that one. Nah, it's too early. No. I survived the runway war. Barely. Let's check this one out.
Have you ever wanted to be one of these guys? Or maybe one of these ones instead? Well, if the idea of piloting a grunt mobile suit to your certain doom appeals to you, then boy have I found the game for you. Today, we're checking out the 2002 release, Mobile Suit Gundam, Federation vs. Zeon. Now, a lot of Gundam games, and honestly most video games, tend to put you into the shoes of more important characters. Whether it's one of your favorite protagonists from the show, or some unnamed character who possesses some sort of remarkable talent, seldom do you get to experience what it's like to just be a regular old run-of-the-mill frontline soldier. Obviously, there are some exceptions to this. One of my favorite Gundam games of all time, Zeonic Front, does an excellent job of taking a step back and putting you into the shoes of pilots who aren't overpowered new types. And if you take a look outside the Gundam universe, you see another example of this in the Star Wars Battlefront series, which was an enormous success. Federation vs. Zeon is another one of these rare titles that, instead of making you the hero, lets you see what it would be like to fight in the one-year war, but from the perspective of a regular pilot.
I'm doing my part too.
If the game's title wasn't enough to suggest it, you get to experience the conflict as a member of either the Federation or Zeon forces. Game modes offered are pretty straightforward. You've got an arcade mode that lets you play through varying paths of 13 missions. At the beginning of the mode, you choose mobile suits to be used for either ground or space combat, then proceed from there, moving through mission after mission. At some point, if you do happen to die and get a game over, you can re-choose what suits to bring out and continue your run. There's a versus mode, which is exactly what it sounds like. It allows you to set up battles on the stage of your choice and choose both an ally to accompany you and enemies to fight against. You can also name your pilot in both of these modes, and if you name them after one of the main characters from the show, you'll actually play as them, which gives you access to some cool bits of dialogue that plays both as missions are beginning and sometimes during them while fighting. Story mode is by far the largest aspect of the game though. For my playthrough, I sided with the Federation, which many may consider blasphemy, but hey, I normally always go the Zeon route in games like this, so I wanted to mix it up a bit. Upon starting the story, you're presented with a little cutscene that sets up the events for the game. It's the year 0079, humans have been living in space colonies for half a century, a cluster of those colonies declares independence for itself and attacks. It's pretty much the same message that plays at the beginning of the anime if you ever watched it. The campaign starts with you, an unnamed pilot, being given orders to wage war on all fronts and push back against the Zeon aggressors with new prototype mobile suits that will hopefully allow the Federation to stand a fighting chance. Immediately, you'll notice that mission selection isn't entirely linear. Instead, you're given a set of maps, one for Earth and one for space, that are populated with multiple places of interest. As time progresses and you move through the campaign, new missions become available both on the ground and in space, with iconic locations like Luna 2, Texas Colony, Solomon, and more being featured. Things start off simple enough, with you being tasked to test out the new ground combat GM in a mobile suit combat simulation, but before you know it, you'll find yourself in actual combat, doing things like defending tank brigades, assaulting a Gao attack carrier, and even assisting with the defense of the V project inside Side 7. As you progress further, you'll occasionally be asked to test out various new pieces of equipment, like mobile suits or weapons, and afterwards unlock them to be used. In the beginning stages, it can seem like you don't really have many suits and weapons to choose from, but eventually you'll have pages and pages of them. At one point, I even found myself being asked to help test out the RX-78, Grandpa Gundam itself, and had one delivered to me for use. Getting my hands on this thing was unreal. The power it had on the battlefield compared to the rest of the suits made everything else seem trivial. And if it wasn't for a certain mechanic, from that point forward, I probably would have never used anything else. But the thing is, suits can't just be reused repeatedly. Damage carries over from mission to mission, and suits require resupplying, which takes time. This results in you having to weigh out your options when it comes to what suit you want to bring with you into missions. You can't just spam your best suits repeatedly. You're gonna have to bust out that trusty old GM from time to time. It's worth noting here too that you do sometimes have an ally that tags along, so you also have to factor in what they're deploying in your decision making. To my surprise, they actually weren't completely worthless, so it was worth letting them pilot some of my better units. I was a big fan of this mechanic as it made me really appreciate the power of Gundam or some of my other more powerful suits when I was able to use them. Now, while you yourself may be a no-name soldier, that doesn't mean characters from the show don't appear in the game. Throughout your campaign, Amuro, Char, and other iconic characters appear, and let me tell you, Amuro puts in some serious work. I'd be lying if I said I didn't find myself hanging back at times to let him fight some of the tougher foes. A lot of the biggest moments in the one-year war are represented here: the death of Garmazabi and the subsequent speech given by his brother Giran, Odessa Day, the defense of Jaburo, the battle for Solomon, Abawaku, and more. It really is a complete 0079 experience. You even get narrated voice lines from characters like Lieutenant Matilda and General Revel as events play out in between missions, which I felt really added to the immersion. I will say though that the conclusion of the story is kinda lackluster. Upon completing the final campaign mission, there isn't really any sort of cutscene or dialogue that happens. The credits just roll and you get to see a total result where you can see your combined statistics from your run-through. Overall though, getting to experience the events of the one-year war from beginning to end, but from a slightly different perspective than what you might be used to, was enjoyable. Presentation definitely wasn't on the same level as, say, Journey to Jaburo in my opinion, but it wasn't terrible. Just don't go into this one expecting a super cinematic experience. Side note, if you're enjoying my content, be sure to drop a like and subscribe. We're getting really close to 5K subs.
Yeah, make sure to subscribe. Help them out.
And any bit of help would be greatly appreciated. Gameplay is definitely the focus of this title, and let's talk about it. Controls are fairly simple, but do feel a bit dated to me, and it's mostly because you can't use your right analog stick to pan your view. Instead, camera direction is dictated by which direction your mobile suit is facing or by what you're locked onto. So, if you don't have a locked on target, to move your camera, you have to turn your entire mobile suit using the left analog stick or D-pad. This felt super clunky to me initially, but thankfully most of the time it's a non-issue since you're going to be locked onto enemies or cycling between them, which thankfully you're able to do with a single input. Melee attacks get their own dedicated input, which I'm a fan of, as it allows you to quickly engage close-up targets with a beam saber or other melee weapon without the need to manually switch to them. Suits can also have additional secondary attacks like head vulcans, shoulder-mounted cannons, grenades, or more that are accessible with the touch of a button. Targeting and aiming is handled automatically, as long as you're locked onto your target. Enemies that are locked present themselves in one of two ways: a red circle icon, which indicates that the target is damageable and will take damage if hit, or a yellow circle, which indicates that if you fire at the target, it won't deal damage even if it appears the shot hits them. I get why this was done from a gameplay balancing perspective, as this kinda goes both ways. It prevents enemies from targeting you as well while you're knocked down, but it does slow down combat a bit. The result is, if you hit an enemy that doesn't get killed in one shot, they get knocked down and you end up just sort of waiting for them to pop up and become a valid target again. Sometimes it can take what feels like quite a while. Oftentimes I find myself just sort of waiting for them to get back up, trying to time my shots so that my rounds impacted them just as their targeting icon switched back to red from yellow. I'll say here too that the game can actually be quite difficult at times, particularly in the later stages. I'm not really sure if it's just because the Federation's zero-G capable mobile suits didn't really advance that much towards the end of the war, whereas the Zeon get the Gelgoog, which was an absolute pain in the ass to fight against by the way, or if the difficulty just ramps up naturally, but man, I died a lot. My GM and even gun cannon just didn't seem to cut it at times, particularly in those zero-G stages. It seemed like Gundam was the only thing that could keep up. I certainly proved to the Federation that I am no new type. While Federation vs. Zeon is by no means a bad game, I would honestly find it hard to recommend it over its sequel, Gundam vs. Zeta Gundam, which essentially is an improvement across all aspects. I'm sure there are some out there who prefer the first title, maybe for nostalgia reasons, but I think objectively, the second installment of the series is the better game. I'd love to hear your thoughts on Federation vs. Xeon down below. As always, thanks for watching. Until next time.
I never watched it. Oh crap. Damn, that was a bad idea.
Taxes was chasing updates and getting nowhere.
What else is going on?
In 2018, Super Smash Bros. Melee appeared at the Evolution Championship Series, the biggest tournament in fighting games, for the very last time. Alongside Melee and Smash 4, there were 6 traditional fighting games on the roster. They covered a bunch of different kinds of fighting games. You had your 2D, your 3D, your anime, your tag fighters, your mother, your father, your sister, your brother, and whatever the hell Injustice 2 was. But they all had one thing in common that Smash games lacked.
Take this! Know your place!
Supers. And no, not Super Smash Bros. Melee, you got my ass, shut up. Supers have been a part of fighting games since 1992, when SNK included a mechanic called Desperation Moves in 1992's Art of Fighting. These moves could only be used when players were at low health, a comeback mechanic to keep games interesting even when the opponent
Oh shoot, I didn't know that. I thought it was earlier than that when they first were introduced.
had a huge lead. If that sounds familiar, by the way, that is exactly what Terry's Go mode in Ultimate is based off. Pretty soon, supers became a mainstay in traditional fighting games. Usually tied to a resource like a meter, super moves are flashy both in appearance and utility. Often they're extremely damaging attacks, but also with some risk attached to using them. There's actually a world where Melee would have been a part of this crowd too. The Smash series got its first supers in Brawl in the form of Final Smashes. These are fighting game style supers with cinematic activations and all the bells and whistles. In an interview, Sakurai actually confirmed that they were working on Final Smashes as early as Smash 64, saying that they had even gone so far as to record voice clips that could be heard if you hack into the game files. And a lot of them sound like Final Smash voice lines from Brawl, it turns out. Given that Giga Bowser wound up being Bowser's final Smash in both Brawl and Smash 4, it's fair to wonder if they would have implemented something like Final Smashes in Melee if they had more than 13 months to ship the game. Even though Final Smashes have been around for 3 games now, their appearances in competitive play have been very few and far between. Join me today as I dive into that history and show exactly why supers in Smash Bros. Melee just haven't caught on in the way they have in traditional fighting.
That's interesting. I didn't realize that.
Thank you to my good friends at Into the AM who have paid to be mentioned in today's video. Into the AM is a team of artists and creators that's been outfitting your passion since 2012, and they have your gifts covered this holiday season. If you're shopping for anyone who loves comfort, design, quality, or all 3 of these things at once, Into the AM is honestly the move. I'd like to think I'm pretty transparent about how I handle sponsors on this channel, and Into the AM was the very first brand who's ever worked with me, so I have a ton of respect for them, and I love that I've been able to maintain this partnership for several years now. I quite literally wear Into the AM every single day, and I even knew about their brand long before we began working together, so this is as much of an endorsement of their clothing as I can give you. For this holiday season, they're going to be running a solid site-wide discount alongside gifts under $20, so it's a great way to grab some premium tees or pants or Hawaiians or just about anything. You can use my promo code WALT at checkout or go to intotheam.com/Walt to get 10% off, which is on top of any sale they may be running. And using that link also affords me a small commission, so thank you for that. Also, this is going to be my last collaboration with them for the year, but I'm really, truly looking forward to working more with Into the AM in 2026, and I know they'll be releasing even more amazing clothing. Thank you once again to Into the AM for supporting me and the channel. Happy holidays, and I hope you enjoyed today's video. Okay, massive disclaimer, you can say you got my ass in the comments, whatever, but you sort of can use a Final Smash in Melee, by which I mean you actually can play as Giga Bowser. Woostunes made a fantastic video on some tournaments that were held during the pandemic when people figured out how to play as Giga Bowser on Slippy, and it's well worth the watch. Giga Bowser is certainly, definitely a top tier, but in a very, very weird way, because it's not just because he's Giga Bowser. The thing is, he is not clearly better than Fox, which is also pretty funny. Final Smashes were a pretty tough sell for the competitive Brawl community though. Just like with Melee's competitive scene, most Brawl competitors craved a version of Smash with less variance. And unfortunately, Final Smashes, as implemented in Brawl, are variance factories. Forget a meter. To use a Final Smash, you have to break a Smash Ball. One of these things. Give me that. Give me that. No, okay, whatever. It's an item, which is already a terrible start, and it spawns with 30 HP. This number changes in future Smash games for the record, but then it loses health at a rate of 2 HP per second. So it's not necessarily enough to hit it. You have to hit it with a high enough damage move at the right time. It also stops losing its own health once it hits 2.5 HP, so it's not like you can hit it and then try to keep your opponent away until it breaks for you. Oh yeah, and it's also randomly moving across the screen the whole time, like a cat, like going for a laser pointer. Good luck getting it. Good luck getting it. Yeah, it's annoying to get. Perhaps we could have accepted this incredibly random way of accessing Final Smashes if they were well balanced across the cast, but they absolutely were not. Some, like Marths and Zeldas and Sheiks, just delete stocks, whereas others, like the one where Jigglypuff gets big on him, covers a huge area of effect, but are pretty easy to avoid and don't really hit as hard as you'd like. Now, look, a lot of these were pretty clearly designed for free-for-all gameplay, and some of them make way more sense on some of the bigger stages we don't use in competitive play. Even with those factors in mind, Brawl's Final Smashes are a mess when it comes to balance, even though I have to acknowledge some of them have a ton of personality. Like, why did they make Luigi do this? Like, what is the lore of this? This doesn't make any sense. Okay. The Brawl scene pretty quickly decided to ban Final Smashes, which wasn't a tough thing to get the community on board with since we were already banning items in the Melee scene anyway. It's not like any serious tournament wanted to force players to chase down the orb of randomness just to get access to an already unbalanced and often broken super attack, right? Right? Well, for most fighting games, EVO 2008 was the single most serious tournament of the year. American fighting game legend John Choi won both Street Fighter II Super Turbo and Capcom vs SNK 2, fully establishing himself as one of the genre's GOATs. Justin Wong, another GOAT, won one of his record 9 EVO championships in the Marvel vs. Capcom 2 bracket. And then there was Super Smash Bros. Brawl. Okay. Smash was not yet seen as a serious fighting game by most traditional fighting game players at the time, even though it had appeared as a main game already. That was at EVO 2007, one of the highest profile Smash majors of all time up until that point, which is where Ken reestablished his dominance despite taking a loss to some upstart kid named Mango. He ran through losers to win the tournament, eventually taking it over Hugs in grand finals, and it's so funny to me that Hugs got second place at this tournament still, but whatever. EVO 2007's rules were pretty standard competitive Smash stuff. No items, mostly Fox, mostly Final Destination, you get it. But EVO 2008 would move from Melee to Brawl. Since all the other fighting games played at EVO had supers, why not use the new supers from Smash's newest entry also? How bad could it possibly be? And you know what? Screw it, put items on also, because they really just said f it. But despite the change in game and rules, Ken was back to defend his title, with most competitive players choosing not to spend the money to go all the way to Vegas just to get Final Smashed out of the competition. It was expected that he'd have a pretty free ride to the final bracket. There had, of course, been a little bit of exploration of this meta in the weeks leading up to the event, and it turned out Ken's old standby in Marth had a pretty powerful tool in this meta. He has one of those insta-kill Final Smashes, at least on the relatively normal-sized stages used in this rule set. Yes, yeah, you saw that. They're playing on Skyworld. I didn't say they were normal stages, just normal-sized, okay? The thing is, a move like Marth's Final Smash is only useful if you can hit it. And it turned out Marth could combo into his Final Smash off of a falling forward air. So yeah, I think that's useful. Ken had a pretty much free ride to Grand Finals, but there was one thing he hadn't considered: robots. A lot of the theory crafting was looking at characters like Snake and Falco, great characters in their own right that also had busted final smashes. Falco, like Fox, had the Landmaster and was the superior option to Fox otherwise thanks to his access to a stupidly broken down throw chain grab in Brawl, and Snake turns the game into a third-person shooter. He gets to chuck grenades at his opponent, which doesn't sound all that different, except this time he's offstage and totally invincible. But Rob's final smash in Brawl is completely insane. Rob becomes invincible and a weak hitbox appears in front of his eyes. Randomly, a much more powerful laser will fire, dealing a ton of damage. Between the passive hits and the laser, it's possible to deal upwards of 250% damage with one singular final smash. And that's not even the craziest part. Rob gets access to his entire moveset other than neutral special while his final smash is activated. What that means is he can just grab any attempt to shield it and then rack up the passive damage while the opponent is grabbed. And then the laser kills. And then you win. So, unsurprisingly, Ken's opponent in Grand Finals was a Rob player. It was a 14-year-old kid by the tag of CPU who just happened to be in Vegas for the weekend. This kid knew how to wield his final smash, and it was the game changer in the sets against Ken. Item luck was definitely not on Ken's side in the second and third games. He died trying to pick up a hammer in game 2, and also SD bonked his head because of the way the bunny hood messes with jump heights. It was a deeply Looney Tunes game, and the way CPU finished Ken off with a final smash only added to the cruel irony. And then they played a singular match for a $742 grand prize with items and final smashes on, and CPU hit what is quite literally the most valuable bumper combo of all time. I'm just gonna let the combo play.
Sentinel means business, everybody. Oh, he can set the bumper in a good spot. Wow! What a shot! CPU!
So as a channel that covers like competitive Smash as a whole, I really want to preface this and say the problem isn't that a 14-year-old kid who never played competitive Smash before or since in his life won this tournament, although I wouldn't say it's not a problem. That final match was actually pretty watchable. It was entertaining as hell. The explosive combo with the bumper is exactly what people who advocate for items on Smash want to see. The problem is that legalizing things like this also leads to gameplay like this. This is Dwin vs SK92 from earlier in the EVO 2008 bracket. SK92 won game 1 and was looking like he was going to cruise to a 2-0 victory. But then Dwin, picking Sheik, found the exact same combo that Ken was riding to success with Marth, a falling forward air into one of those delete final smashes. And that's exactly when SK92, a great Falco player in Melee as well as Brawl and Project M, locked in. And by locked in, I mean he went to Jungle Japes and chain grabbed the shit out of Dwin to death twice before laming him out with the Landmaster and finally taking the last stock. It was not what anybody would call beautiful Smash, but with the tools available, it sucks, but it's absolutely the right way to play it. That's why no serious tournament organizer ran a rule set like this ever again. There wasn't much of a movement to play with final smashes in Smaforsh. Some of the weirder ones from Brawl were reined in a bit, but there were still the same balancing problems. More importantly, there was still the same problem that the only way to use them was through the Smash Ball item. This problem was finally resolved in Smash Ultimate, which added something players had been theorizing about since the introduction of Final Smashes back in Brawl, a Final Smash meter. Okay, we have some potential here. The randomness of Smash Ball spawn timing and location was gone, and you wouldn't have games where one player would get 5 or 6 Final Smashes in a row. The metered Final Smashes were also a bit weaker than the standard ones, making them feel not quite as game warping. Obviously, prior experience with Final Smashes had people skeptical, but for a lot of players, it felt worth a shot, I guess? Unsurprisingly though, it never took off as a widespread competitive format. Final Smashes are just still too imbalanced, and even with nerfed ones, there were still some that had absurdly strong combo potential and would have been problematic. There are some that were problems even without the threat of combos too. I'll show you one pretty soon because every now and then you'll see a tournament organizer run something featuring Final Smashes as like a side bracket or a fun once in a blue moon rule set mix-up for the sake of just having some fun. Towards the end of 2024, Hungrybox ran a Final Smash meter tournament as a part of his Coinbox Ultimate series, and it actually delivered on some peak Ultimate cinema. Primarily an insane losers top 8 qualifier match between Spargo and MKLeo that saw both players hit some nutty whiff punishes with their final smashes. But at the same time, this tournament definitely exposed the problems with the Final Smash meter. The meter slowly fills just through the passage of time, which incentivizes players to run away and let the meter charge up if they have a lead, only making the campy play that characters like Sonic were already utilizing to great effect. To nobody's surprise, 2 of the final 3 players remaining in this coin box were the 2 best Sonic players in North America, Sonics and Wrath. Sonic's Final Smash is actually pretty tame compared to the rest of the cast, but anything that strengthens Sonic's already problematic runaway game is really bad, like it's a pretty bad issue. But waiting for Wrath and Losers Finals was Ling, one of North America's top Peach players. As pointed out in Hungrybox's stream, Ling is the kind of fiend who also played in the official Nintendo online tournaments, which often had wacky rules like crazy stages or items on, or yes, Final Smashes. He also played a character that is both strong in the vanilla rule set and has an absolutely broken Final Smash in Peach. How good was it? Well...
Wow. There's the S smash.
Look, did you see that?
It's so
Did you
broken,
see
dude.
that?
You literally could just
drop to
press
his death.
B at any time, and it's a good option. It's never a bad option to press B anytime.
Oh my god. We're going.
All right. Crap. What is that? How long have I been streaming for? I've been streaming for that long. All right. So, give me about 30 minutes. I'll be right back. I'm going to stop the stream now. I just got a call. I got to go grab something real quick. So, I'll be right back. I'll be back in 30. So, I'm not done yet. I will be back. All right. So, don't worry. I'll be back. I'm not going. I'm only leaving for a sec, but I will be back a little later. So, give me about 30 minutes.